Hello everybody and welcome to another video, and I finally brought to you a gameplay and it's going to be of this game here called Intrepid. It's one of my zine, my pocket zines, and it's been on my box for a while and I think it's time I play it. I have read through it, but to be honest with you, as soon as I read things specifically like on characteristics of each class and like all the weapons and its details, I forget it. So I don't know the details. I know generally how the game works, but I'm going to be referring to this little book as we play. I'm going to be using these two maps here, okay? So my idea here is, well, first of all, this is very basic, okay? It has a how to play and how to create your characters. And that's basically it. I don't have any information on monsters for this thing. I don't have any information on like hit points and combats with monsters. Anything about like coming into combat I don't have in here. So I'm going to be winging it and telling you like what I would do in these situations if I find a pocketbook that doesn't have like everything or even a direction in some things, what I would do on that case. And my idea is I'm going to use this map here as a starting point, and we're going to find out how that point starts. And there's like a little tent in here, and my idea is whenever the hero gets here and decides to enter here, it's this space of the second map. So that's the general idea, and I have my little box of dice and stuff in here. I have my favorite set that lives in my bag in here. And if I need more, I have these ones here. So that's what we're going to do. I'm also going to be using some extra tools. And I have them here. My reusable notebook, I'm going to be taking notes on this. And there's some pages I should be erasing, but I'll do that later. And I have my deck, my solo fantasy deck, or part of it. I have here only the oracles, basically. I have my yes or no oracle, my iconic oracle, and my AB oracle with general words that I can choose from, or rather roll and get. So this is what I'm going to be using for decision making. So let me first find a blank page here so I can note things down as we go. And let's go in here. Let me show you the rules. So I have basically, this is the full rule set for this system. Let's call it system. And then we only have like how to create your character. Everything else is basically how to create your character and give them like items and stuff like that. Okay, so for the rules, we are going to be using a d20 mainly, and we are going to be using the attributes that are related to this system, which is fairly familiar to D&D. I don't think we have all the same attributes, but we have the ones that we have here, we also have in D&D. So if you're familiar with D&D, it's going to be really quick for you to understand. Melee fighting uses strength, and ranged uses dex. So if we are, like face to face with the enemy, we use strength. If we are doing ranged attacks, we use dex, and magic uses wisdom. In combat, you roll to attack as well as to defend. So if we're going to attack, we're going to roll a d20 for either of these attributes here, and if we are defending from something, we also roll, and I am assuming we roll depending on the attack. So if I have the chance to dodge, I would use dex, for example, and so on. We will see as we play. We will come up with stuff. Initiative is the highest speed plus dexterity, and it determines who attacks first in combat. Okay, so that's the initiative system. Armor blocks its value in damage each time it's hit. So if my armor class is like 3, for example, and I get 4 damage, my armor absorbs 3 and I get only 1 final damage to my hit points. Magic deals 2d6 damage. 1 gold is equal 1 XP. So for us to level up, we need to find treasure. We need to find gold. And each piece of gold is 1 experience point. And we level up when we have 50 experience points. Is that it? Level up 50 experience points times your level. Seems like what I interpret from this, and I might be wrong, so you can tell me in the comments if you interpret something different. If I'm level 1, I need 50 gold to go to level 2. If I'm level 2, I need 50 times 2, 100 gold to go to level 3, and so on. I keep multiplying the 50 gold, which is equal XP, by my level, and then I move up a level when I get there. That's what I'm taking from it. So you can, when you level up, you can either take a new ability, and we're going to see those there, and add 1d6 to your hit point, or you add +1 to an attribute. So we can choose between those 3 things what we are going to get. So for character, we are going to do it right now. And let me sit down so I can be more comfortable. Where did I put the cap of my pen? It must be on my bag. I can check that later. Okay, so my character, we have human, elf, dwarf, or halfling. You can choose. I like to leave things to Mother Luck. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. Is it out of the camera? I don't know. So this is it. I got a 3, which is a dwarf. Okay, we are a dwarf. Dwarf. My pen is failing me, probably because it lost its cap, so it's not working very well. Okay, now a class. Again, Mother Luck is going to tell us. 3 again. Oops. Okay, let's roll again because it was not. Number 1. So a cleric. So we are a cleric. I don't usually go for clerics, but we are going for one now. Okay, cleric, dwarf cleric, and I can check the specificities of each part later. And then we roll our attributes. Okay, so we have strength, dexterity, and wisdom. There are 3. I'm going to put them here. Strength, dexterity, and wisdom. I do need a new pen, but let's roll with it. And it's 3d6s, so let me get more d6s here. Okay, I have 3. Let's go for... actually, let's roll everything, and then we distribute based on our race and class to make it make sense. So I have 5, 3, and 2, which gives us 10. So one of my numbers is 10. I'm going to put just a little small here so I know. The other one that I get is a 12. Yes, a 12. And the last one that I get is actually a 13. Oh, those are actually good rolls. I'm impressed. I always mess up my stats when I leave it to the dice, but that was not bad. Okay, so we know that the dwarf has +1 to strength and 2 in speed. it's going to kill me, but I'm not going to draw anything for this one. I always draw my characters, but I want to move on with this video. So, speed is 2 for this guy, and he has +1 to strength. So whatever number we choose here, we have a added 1 on it. But also, okay, for cleric it just says heal and protect, but we have more things here about each class. Let me see if I get any bonus, or it's just like advantage and stuff like that. So it says that we have bless, heal, defend, and guidance. Oh, we can choose 2 abilities. Okay, so we can choose 2 of these abilities, which means rolling with advantage, healing 1d6, roll wisdom to heal 1d6, defend, take half damage someone else received, or guidance is pray to your deity for direction. And this is a good one to show how we might need the oracle to get us answers, because it doesn't like give you any table for like answers for questions. So good, we have an oracle there. And just so you know, you can get these mini deck, which are like 6 cards here, but there are 2 more that I'm not using here. You can get those on my itch.io page. Link's going to be down below. Okay, so we're going to choose 2 of those, and none of them has like a plus anything to any attribute, so we're going to get there later. And we roll 2d6s for our hit points. So let's roll that first. I got 3 and 1. Yeah. Hit points are always bad. Always bad when I roll them. I don't know, I'm cursed. You can say that. So I have 4 hit points. Oh my gosh, I need a new pen. Actually, this pen works. I think it's just because the paper is too worn out and I don't have the lid to keep the ink safe. Let me get it. Okay, I'm back. Let's go. Okay, so I have 4 HP. I'm really not happy with 4 hit points, to be honest with you. Okay, let's... I'm going to be a little bit sneaky here. Oracle. Can I increase my hit points, or can I re-roll to see if I get more hit points? It's a 10, maybe. Why don't you help me, Oracle? Okay, I'm going to re-roll, guys. I'm going to be sneaky and re-roll and hope for a bigger number. Okay, that works. 10 hit points is decent, so we are going to do that. And I'm re-rolling. I usually don't re-roll. I just let it be, and I... why am I put a 6 here? Am I crazy? No, it's a 10. Oh my gosh. Okay, 10. I usually don't re-roll. If I get a low number, I use that low number and I try to compensate it later by making... like giving some armor to my my character, or making the first combats not as deadly for them, because I told it before, I like the epic hero narrative, so I usually play with a single hero, although here you could create like 2, 3, 4 and make a full party. I'm just making 1. Okay, so you can do whatever. I'm using 1. And since I'm using only 1, I don't want it to be like, hey, blow that. It's just that I want it to, you know, I want to play with it. So I'm doing that. 10 hit points is decent to start. So I have HP, and now we can put our attributes. So a cleric, I guess wisdom would be more important because of the magic. And I want strength as well for like cleric dwarf, it makes sense. Dexterity would be like, yeah, okay. But I would be more excited about wisdom and strength. So I'm going to put 13 in wisdom for, you know, the magic stuff. Okay, so 13. I think it is the paper. Some areas of the paper are really not working anymore because I use this so much. And then I have 12 here that I want to put in strength, but I have a +1 because it's a dwarf, so I have a 13 for strength also. And then I have a 10 for dexterity, which is decent, I think, considering, you know, the possible roles that we can have. And then let's choose our 2 abilities. So we can have advantage on wisdom. You can roll wisdom for 1d6 healing, which, let's be honest, a cleric needs healing. So this is going to be one for sure. And since I'm playing the epic hero thing, he's a lone hero and all of that, he needs a way of heal himself or herself. I didn't even decide yet what's the gender. Sometimes I start playing, I totally forget, and I keep changing between he and she without knowing what I'm playing because I haven't decided. Okay, so we have heal, which is 1d6 wisdom healing. We have defend, take half damage someone else received, and guidance, pray to your deity for direction. I'm not really excited about defend, although I could change this since he's playing by himself. Instead of taking half damage that someone else received, I could use this as reduce damage that he takes by half. I could like just adapt it here. But I'm not really excited about the defend ability. I like the guidance one because for a narrative standpoint, I think that can give us a lot of possibilities in the story. The advantage would be great, actually, but I'm going for guidance. I like the idea of being guided by its patron. I'm just going to put here, pray, so I know what it is. Okay, so that's it, and you can check the other ones for other characters when you get this one. By the way, itch.io, that's where I got this from, and I'm going to remember to put the link in the description. But as always, if I didn't put it here, you guys can call me out in the comments so I remember to put it there. By the way, if you left a comment and I didn't answer yet, I am going to. I just leave comments unanswered if I have not recorded a video for them yet. Okay, so the ones that I can answer in text, I answer in text. The ones that are better answered with a short video or a complete video, I leave them unanswered so I remember to make those videos to answer you guys. So it's coming. If I didn't answer you yet, it's because it's coming. Okay, so now inventory space is as large as our strength value. And if we carrying heavy items, these items take 2 slots. So basically we have 13 slots in our inventory, right? Yeah, okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create an inventory for us. Inventory. So I have 13 slots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, so there we go. 13 spaces. Starting class weaponry. So what do we have? We have one medium weapon. I'm looking for cleric here. One medium weapon and one light armor. Okay. Light, medium, heavy. Okay, so here we have like all the light items, all the medium items, and all the heavy items. So we have one light armor, which is a leather armor. We can also go for a shield. So we wouldn't have an armor per se, but we would have a shield. And I'm assuming here that it's either or, because it says light armor. It's one light item that translates as armor, which are these two, so we can choose one of them. Either a leather armor or a shield. What would we choose? I'm really into the shield idea, to be honest with you. But we have one medium weapon. It can be a sword, a crossbow, a bow, an axe, a flail, a rapier, a spear, a trident, or a warhammer. Oh, warhammer. It's a dwarf. It needs a warhammer. Let's be honest. Yes, I chose. I don't even want to check the other items. I don't care. It's going to be a warhammer. Sometimes things just work together and we just have to accept it, you know? Okay, so he has a warhammer. And I'm going, you know, I like the idea of the shields, but I think the leather armor would go better with the warhammer than the shield. So it has like a free hand for magic and one with the hammer. So we're going to say it has a leather armor, and the leather armor has a 1 here. And if you remember from the beginning, the armor blocks that amount of damage, which is 1. Okay, so we have a leather armor. I'm assuming the leather armor doesn't count in the inventory, right? Because it's going to be wearing it. That's what I'm going to assume. And let's say I'm right. So a leather armor for 1 less damage. Okay, good. And then we have general items here. So we can roll for items whenever we need them. We could roll for a starting item, which I love to do. I love trinkets to start my sessions. They sometimes, most times really, they give me great ideas on how to start it. So I'm going to do that. And it's a D20. I think we're basically going to only be rolling D20s and D6s for like damage and stuff like that. Yeah, I didn't see any other dice in here. We may use other dice for like the oracles here, but basically we're going to be mostly with these guys here. Okay, so D20 for a general item, which I'm going to consider like a trinket or treasure that he's carrying, and we have to give him a name. So a 7 is a lockpick. Ooh, that's interesting. A cleric with a lockpick. Okay, good. Okay, so before we start the adventure, let's give him a name. And oh gosh, what name do I give him? I am going to appeal to my names table that I put on my Pocket Heroes, because I am not the best at coming up with cool names on the fly. So I have a name generator on my booklet here for that. So I'm going to just steal that part from this book to add it to this game. And I use a D10 for this one. So I roll a D10 for 2 times for the first name and 2 times for the last name. I got a 9, which is Gal, and a 10, that is Vin. Galvin. Galvin is actually not a bad name for a dwarf, I think. Galvin. Let's give him a surname, because sometimes that helps with the narrative. Okay, 7 is Storm Thunder. Well, that's a name. Galvin Storm Thunder. And I don't know if you guys are thinking the same thing I'm thinking, but he's a cleric, he has a deity he can pray to, he carries a war hammer, focus on the hammer, and his surname is Storm Thunder. Maybe he follows like a deity like Thor. Maybe. Who knows? I like that idea. So I'm going to add this to the narrative. Thor is his deity. Great. Now we have an extra detail for this story. I love when things just mesh together out of nowhere. Okay, so we have basically everything we need from this thing, and I might be referring back to the rules if I don't remember something exactly, or to the items if I need to roll for something. What I'm going to say now, I need some markers. I'm going to use my little colorful skulls as markers, so I'm going to put them here. And Mr. with Storm Thunder is going to be this white skull. So I am thinking that he is coming upon this way in the map, and he's going to stumble upon this little camp here. But first of all, I want to know like the backstory. Why is him here? Why is him here? What is he doing? How did he get here? In all of that. This is clearly not a yes or no answer. Okay, so I could use either my iconic oracle to get like random icons that can tell me the story, or I could use my 2 words from the AB details table and get the same thing, get like a general sense of what's going on. I particularly love the iconic oracle a lot, so I'm going for this one this time. So let's first roll for the horizontal axis, and I got a 7, and for the vertical I got a 12, so right here in the end. So a cave, let's get another one. 7 again. Oh wait, no, it's a clock. I'm sorry, yes. 7, 12 is a clock, and 7, 10, it's receiving coins. You can see the little hand getting some little pieces of some coins. So I have time or clock and receiving money. I usually go for 3 icons, so a 2 and a 12 and a trap, like a bear trap or something. Okay, so what I'm thinking here is he was paid to solve some problem or disarm some type of trap in a specific amount of time. That's what's coming to my mind right from these 3 icons. What trap could this be? Or what like problem could this be? Okay, I'm going for the obvious thing here because it's a bear trap. I'm going to say there is like a wild animal that scared everybody away from this camp, and he was paid to come here, get rid of that threat so people can come back and like explore. I'm going to say these are like people that work for the town or the city, and they were scared away from their workplace because of this wild creature that I'm not going to define yet. We might find out what that is later on. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say. He was hired to trap or capture or scare away some type of creature in like a day, because they need to come back to mining the river resources, and the city needs their mining to continue. So that's what I am going to assume here. And Mr. Storm Thunder is coming through the forest here. So what might happen when he sees this camping site? He has this little like bridge. It's basically just a piece of wood that is connecting the two parts. And immediately when I see this piece of wood here, I think that might not be safe. That might be like weak, or that might break when he's on top of it, and something might happen there. That's what comes to my mind first. And since we saw that there's no much more to go from this, we can use our imagination to do anything, which is also cool. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to ask the oracle if he I can either ask the oracle if he has a safe passage, which is basically he goes in and we see if something happens in here, or if he tries to like investigate to see if it's safe and he can find out if it's not. But I'm going to go with the first one, like if he has a safe passage through this little wooden table, not table, but wooden piece of like wooden piece. And I use my d20. I'm not going to add any modifiers here because I don't see anything that could clearly say it's highly possible or not. Considering that this was a place that other people were working, according to my initial assumption, my initial creation here. This could be very well fixed, but by the image they don't look very well fixed, so that is kind of like maybe not, so we don't know. So I'm going to just roll my d20 and ask the oracle, does he pass through this little bridge safely? It's a 13, which is a yes, so yes, it's pretty safe. So he comes in here, and first thing I see here is like this debris or kind of like smashed things. So I'm going to bring him here and we can investigate this part. To investigate this, we could, according to the book, we use strength for like fights, dexterity for ranged attacks, and wisdom for magic. There's nothing about like other abilities like investigating stuff and all. In this case, I would proceed like using wisdom as the base attribute for investigation, or I could just ask the oracle what maybe if he finds something here, what he finds in here, what is his conclusion about this, because it's going to be very subjective to my character. So I think that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to ask this oracle here about what he finds in these debris areas after investigating them. So I roll a d100 for this oracle. Let's start with letter A, column A. I got a 36, which is seek and For letter B, I got a 97, which is conflict. Ooh, interesting. Seek conflict. So, it does look like some things were broken here, like maybe there was a fight and some debris were like left behind as a sign of there was a fight going on. And I could swear to you those are two little legs, but I think it's not. I think it's not. But looking for my angle, it does seems like two little legs of someone like laying down. But seek conflict. So yeah, it looks like there was a fighting here. But there's not much more he can make about it. Is there? Oracle, can Galvin identify something on that conflict area? 8. No, but the but here tells you that, hey, you didn't get an answer, but like you did get a no, but there's something else to look for there. But what? Let's go for my icons. And there's not really a framework of what I choose, if it's the icons or the text. I just go with my gut, usually. I love this one more, to be honest with you, but I like how these words, sometimes they give like some direct answer, like seek conflict, you know? It's more like, that's it, go with this. So yeah, let's do my icons here. But what? 10 and 12, I have little stairs here. Can you see? Let me show it close to the camera. 10, 12, it's like a set of little stairs, like steps. Steps, I'm going abstract here. Stairs, steps, I'm going to say he finds steps. And I'm not going to assume anything. I'm going to ask the oracle. I want to know if the steps are going like to the forest, out from the scene, or into the scene here. I'm going to ask if it's going to the scene, and if it says no, I know that it's going to the other scene. So that's another way to use this oracle. If you have like two options, make the question based on one of them, and if the answer is no, you go the other way. You assume the other thing that you were like questioning if it was or no. Are these steps going towards the tent? 13, yes, so it goes. I was so scared that the oracle would say no, and I had to come up with another way to investigate like the forest that doesn't exist in this map. But sometimes the random gods, the gods of the dice, they help us. Okay, so yes, it's going to the tent. So he's going into the tent. But before he goes into the tent, I just thought about if he would investigate more things here. I don't know if that makes sense. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to assume that his investigation of this thing extends to this area, and he just found like the steps as the clue going into the tent. So these are some decisions you can make, because sometimes your imagination takes you 50 different places at the same time in the same game. So make a decision. And my decision is he just goes into the tent, which brings us to our second map. So let's go there. One thing I did not decide on was where's the entrance for this thing. I think this is like a lamp here. So I'm going to say they're like, yeah, because these are like random maps that the guy created just like to share with everybody. They not necessarily are connected one to the other. I am trying to do that because I have them and I want to use them. So that's me. That's my fault that things don't align perfectly with the narrative. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to assume the entrance is like in this side. So there's kind of two entries here, two doors. But I'm going to assume there's just one in here, just for the sake of the narrative that we have like a tent. And I'm going to say this is the big tent, like armed and organized for maybe the chief of this exploration or mining or whatever it is that was going on that part there. So he enters here and that's what he sees. That's like a little bathroom here that he cannot see right now. He can kind of see there is like a little door here, but he cannot see the contents in there. He see these, what's, to me they seem like barrels. You see the shadows, they have like barrels here, some blood in this one, and I'm not sure. I could swear this was a rat. Maybe it's just me in my eyes, which is fine. You know, if you're not sure, you can assume. Like, this to me looks like a dead rat. And I can assume that, but let's see how it goes. But there's this thing here. And then he see like this little table, working table, office table. And you have here like a piece of cheese. That's totally cheese for me. Yeah, you cannot convince me otherwise. And the cup is like tipped down, a little lamp in here, oil lamp or something. Okay, so this is what he sees when he enters the tent. And I just now noticed that I am skewed to the side. Let me try to center it. Okay. And mind you, I usually would be taking notes so that I could put them into my digital system later. But I'm recording this video, so what I'm going to try to do later is just get the automatic, transcripts that YouTube sometimes creates. And then I'm going to feed them into a artificial intelligence so that they do the work of summarizing things for me, because I don't want to go through all of that again. And then I can keep my notes. Let me try to take a little bit of this glare here away. Okay, so he's like on the entrance that we assumed is here. And I feel like he wants to investigate the blood first, because out of everything, this is clearly problematic, you know? So he's going to come here. And remember, his quest was like he was paid to get rid of whatever wild creature was lurking around this camp and scared all the workers away. That's what I'm assuming for this adventure. Let me put this here so it keeps the paper down and we have a better space management for the camera. Okay, so he investigates the blood. Clearly it's blood, but I want to know if he finds something else within that blood. I could just go directly into one of the more detailed oracles and ask what he finds in here. But I'm going to first, since I can see there is blood in there, I'm going to first ask the oracle if he finds something in this like area, and I'm considering this barrel, the area, or not. And if he does find something there, I go to the details to get what is the thing or tip or clue that he finds. So does he find anything on that barrel? Oh, that's a definitely yes. Yes, and so yes, he finds some things and I can add an extra there. Let's go first for what he finds there. I am going for this one now because I don't use it as often, so I'm going to take this opportunity to use it more. Letter A is 93, which is magnify. Interesting. And 14 for letter B, which is memory. Magnify memory. What can we interpret for this? Okay, so although it's more like direct than the icons that can go into very abstract ideas, it does still give us a little bit of space, a range to create things for. So magnify memory, the first thing that came into my mind right after I wrote those two words was some type of magic vision, which we could associate with its god that I told it was Thor. I could associate it with that. So he got a vision from his deity, from his like, you know, mystical religious powers. And then we can roll to see what vision was that. Or we can, in magnify memory, we can have some type of object here that can help him. I can even assume that this little notebook, his little book in here, was actually the clue that he found, and it's a diary from whoever was here and did not escape with the other people that actually came to hire him, you know? So in this diary might be information. However, I like my first idea better, and it was the first thing that popped into my mind when, you know, I wrote those words. So I'm going with that. I like going with my gut instinct, with the first thing that comes into my mind. It often leads to great ideas, but I just wanted to give you guys options in case you're thinking, oh, but how would I do that? How could I interpret that? A million ways. I'm sure you guys can come up with more ideas. And by the way, homework for you guys. Yes, I give homework here. Put in the comments below every time I rolled here in the oracle that you had a different idea or you thought of something different. You can put it in the comments. I would love to see what ideas you came up with, and maybe torture myself. Why didn't I think of that? That would be so much better than my idea. I would love to hear your thoughts, so put it down in the comments. I will be thrilled to read your suggestions, even though I cannot put them here now. But okay, let's go. So I'm going to say he got a vision from his god, and I'm going to roll on the icons for that because I want something more abstract. You know, a vision can give you more abstract ideas. And actually, I'm going to get another D12 so I can roll both at the same time. So this is the horizontal one, and the clear is the vertical one, like here. Okay, so horizontal we have 8, and here we have number 1. So it's the tornado. Oh, this is interesting. Let's get another one. As I said, I usually like to get 3 icons and combine them together into something. So we have a little tornado, or we can interpret as a blow of wind. If I were in D&D, I'm pretty sure my mind would have gone to a air elemental. I'm sure I would have thought of that if it was D&D here. Okay, so I got here a 4 and an 8. So 4 and 8. Ooh, a mysterious card. Let me show you up close. I have like a deck of cards and a mysterious card coming up. I'm having ideas already. If you are having ideas, put in the comments. I tell you in a minute what are my ideas. I want a last icon here. And I have a 6 and another 1. So it's like a sign plague or something like that. Okay, I have to put the sign plague into my idea, but my idea was, to be honest with you, the first thing that came into my mind when I saw like this little card with a like question mark and the tornado that I had before was the first episode of Card Capture Sakura. Did you guys know watch that anime? That's exactly what came into my mind. Like he pulled a card and a wind like magic entity started like blowing around and destroying things and causing some type of destruction. That's what came into my mind. But the direction thing, oh, the direction thing, it's so easy. Remember, I told you this for me was like magnify memory was a vision that Thor gave to Gavin, and I'm going to say that in this vision, Thor showed the direction that Gavin should go to find out what was going on. You know, where he should look for to find like more clues. That's what I'm going with. Oh God, I love these oracles. I'm telling you, it always works. It's magic. Okay, so that's what he saw in his vision, and I am going to. So he knows the direction. We don't know yet because I don't want to assume things here. We're going to ask oracles for that, but he knows the direction, and I'm going to use my first idea that he saw someone picking. I'm not going to say cards, but picking a magic item in some fort, some like wind force came and started like messing things up and destroying some areas of the camp. And of course, the guy who was doing that, like picking the magic item, he got blown up and he's dead. So that's what I'm going with. Okay, I like rolling in the oracle, so I guarantee that I'm not like metagaming too much. Although I don't have problems with metagaming. I think you do whatever you want to do with your game, especially if you're playing solo. Just let your imagination go to town. But sometimes some things are so obvious in my imagination that I have to do them. Like even if I'm risking being metagaming and giving unfair advantage and getting information that maybe my character shouldn't know. But in this case, I don't think it's metagaming too much. You guys tell me in the comments if it was. But what I'm thinking here is that the magic item was exactly this book here. Oh my god, the glare. The glare. Let me try to. Yeah, okay. Now you can see. This book here is the magic item that was open, and he saw it in his vision. And that blew a lot of wind, exploded the person who looked at it, and that's what started the attack of whatever creature came and attacked the camp. That's what I'm going with. So he now knows the direction he needs to go. Where would it be? I'm going to ask the oracle. And remember, I don't have other maps, so I'm really I really don't want it to go away from these maps. But if it goes, I can just use theater of the mind. Although I much rather use like a illustration or miniatures or whatever. But I'm not against theater of the mind, so we'll see. I want to ask the oracle. Where is my d20? Yeah, here. I want to ask the oracle if the direction that Thor gave Galvin is within the camp, which means within the first map, or even this map here, or if it's outside the map. So I'm going to ask, is it within these maps that we have here, this area? Oh, it's a 5. It's a no. It's a definite no. No, it's not. So it's outside. The direction that was given to Galvin is outside of the maps that we have. Okay, that's fine. Let's move on. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Oops, wrong folder. This is the right one. I have a bunch of these guys in here. Okay, I'm going to get one of my already existing maps and I'm going to use it just as illustration for what we're doing. Yeah, so it kind of matches the aesthetic of this one, kind of, right? So we are going to continue on that. So receiving that divine inspiration from Thor, Gavin leaves the camp, and I'm going to say that he just moves over and comes back to an area that he has passed through before, in direction of that camp. So he's kind of coming this way here, making his way back. And this is the map we're going to use now. I like maps, guys. What can I say? Okay, so I'm going to ask the specific oracles. What does Galvin find when he gets to the place that was shown to him in the vision? And I'm going to use this one because I want like the words. Letter A is 76. Where is 76? Here. Praise. And 82 for letter B. Praise presence. Praise presence. What comes to my mind immediately, something religious, you know? Maybe he finds like a shrine or a statue of some deity or spiritual entity. That's what comes to my mind with praise presence. So I'm going to say he find that, like a statue that I'm going to represent with this guy here. And he finds it. And I'm going to say it's hidden here because considering that I told you it's the way he came in when he was like going to the camp, I'm going to say like it's hidden between these bushes, like on the back of these bushes, and he found it here. So I'm going to say, because I'm thinking this is totally an encounter, totally a combat thing. It does look a lot like it. That's going to be like trapped or something. I'm going to ask the oracle if this statue thing for like a religious deity, whatever it is, if it's like a trap or an encounter of some sorts, and see what the oracle says. 10, it's a maybe. Okay, so when the maybe comes up, I like to go to the specific oracles and they tell me what's going on for real. Okay, so let's get my D12s. So I get 5 and I got a 3. 5, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, a witch's hat. That's interesting. Okay, so I'm going to say that Galvin notices that this statue is from a old practice. I'm not going to call it a religion, but an old practice that magic users, mages, wizards, witches, sorcerers, and all those people, they used to follow in the past. He knows it because he's, like a cleric. Has his acolyte background. And what else does he get? I wrote one icon, right? So that's what I'm thinking about that statue. And I have like a 4 and a 1. It's a soldier, or an armor. Can be a soldier or an armor. It depends on how I wanted to use that. So I got a 5 and a 11. 5 and 11. And there's like a chicken, like a fully chicken, or can be like those from Thanksgiving, like what's the name of that? The bird that you guys eat on Thanksgiving in North America. I totally forgot the name. And I was talking with my boyfriend about it a while ago. Well, it doesn't matter. It's a bird. It's a cooked bird. It's like food offering. So I'm going to say that this statue has the form of some type of warrior. He's wearing like some type of armor, and there's an offering in the form of food there. Okay, so I asked if it was a trap or if it was some type of combat, some type of encounter. What if I ask if it's magic? If there's some magic emanating from there? Is there some magic emanating from there? Oh, that's a one. No. No magic. And what could be the end? And when an end or a but comes up, I can either come up with it on my own, like my brain's just going to tell me what it is, or I can go to the other like details oracle. So it's not magic coming out of it. And I'm going to say there's something good in terms of there's a clue there, or there's something that Galvin finds that helps him in this like mystery, in this adventure, in this quest that he's going to. So it's an offering there. And what? It's not magic. There is no magic emanating from it. And there's no magic emanating from it. Okay, I cannot come up with anything. Sometimes your imagination breaks a little bit. So I'm going for the words here. 39. Examine. And 19. Group. Examine, group. Okay, there's no magic. And I'm going to say, based on these words, that Galvin finds many sets of footprints coming in and out of this area of this statue that seems to be like hidden within these bushes here. And I'm going to say that Galvin follows, he examined this group things. Okay, so he's probably going to another part in the forest. So yeah, okay, I've tried too much in here. Let's go for theater of the mind now, because maps the maps have been explored and the oracle is telling us get the heck out of here basically. Okay, so he examines those footprints, and I'm going to ask, does Galvin find that group or anyone from that group? Oh, that's a natural 20, which is yes, and he finds, and I'm going to say he finds the people, or, the creatures to which those footprints belong to. And, oh, now I have a great opportunity to use my little race dice. What are these creatures, they are elves. Of course they are elves. We're talking about magic, offerings, and footprints of what look to be people. They are elves. Okay, so he finds a group of elves. How many elves does he find? I'm going to roll a d4 for that. If I roll a 1, I'm going to re-roll, because it's a group, so it has to be more than one, So 2. He finds 2 elves. That's good. He finds 2 elves. And to tie in the story, sometimes, the random things are fun, but sometimes you have to try to connect things in. So I'm going to say that these 2 elves, they are druids, which can help us justify the like wild creature attack that made him come to investigate things here, you know? So yeah, so he finds these two druid elves. And what does what does Galvin do now? I think that's a good moment to pray for guidance. Pray to Thor for guidance. So let's say he prays for guidance, and I'm going to roll on the words because I want something a little bit more direct, and the words have been giving us more direction than the icons, although I love the icons, don't get me wrong. I got an 80 for letter A, which is discuss, and a 16 for letter B. I think my mind is already having ideas and I don't even know what the other word. Monster. Okay, that kind of works. I was thinking when I saw the word discuss, I was thinking that Galvin, being a man of religion, a cleric, he would go talk to these people, because we saw something about like offerings to a statue, and a magic book being used. Actually, let me ask the oracle, was that magic book that we saw early a religious, like, cultural thing? This is an 8. This is a no, but. So yeah, that ties in my story as well. So what I was thinking is, as the oracle said, it was not a religion book, but I'm going to say it was a part of these elf druids culture, part of their community, something ancient to them, and that contains some of their natural magic, which also explains the wind kind of thing. And the discuss monster would be like Alvin going to them. Let me see. I have like the 2 elves here. Alvin going to them and trying to have a conversation, communicate. Not everything has to be solved with a sword, or in Galvin's case, with a warhammer. You can communicate with people. You can talk. So I would say he would be talking to them to try to understand what's going on, try to explain the situation, that the workers got scared and all of that. And I kind of already know where I want to go, but I'm going to ask the oracle first. Are these elves aware of like the camp situation? Are they involved in what happened? That's a 3. That's a no. They are not involved in what happened. So it was only the book, the magic in the book. But I want to ask now, but are they looking for something? That's a 6. It's also a no. Okay. So now let's go to the details. When the yes or no oracle is not giving me something, I go to the details tables. I want to know what's the elf's response to all the explanation that Galvin gave. What do they want in general? What's their stand on this? So I cut it 16 for here, which is regain. Letter A is regain. And a 61 for letter B, which is ritual. Regain ritual. Okay, that kind of works here. So they are trying to perform a ritual to that statue of a warrior, which this is my imagination talking now, okay, guys? I'm not refining it. I'm just saying what's coming up in my mind. I'm going to say they are trying to perform a ritual in honor of that soldier that we saw the statue earlier, and for that they gave offerings. That why we saw the chicken, and also they put there some items in honor of them, of that creature. And one of these items, I'm going to say, I'm going to just say it, I'm not going to ask anything because it makes sense to me now, it makes sense in my imagination. One of these items was the book, and they are not looking for it now because the disappearance of the book, in their conception, means that something happened in the ritual. The book was either taken by the deity or like the hero, the folk hero that that statue represented. It makes more sense being a folk hero. It was either taken by means of the other world or whatever, and uh, it, it's just like fulfilling a prophecy that their hero keeps protecting their village, and all of that. So what I'm going to do here now, knowing that story, Galvin is going to tell them that that book actually got taken. I'm not going to say stolen, I'm going to say taken, because taken by those humans, those people that were on the camp, and they opened the book, and he's going to explain what happened, all the bloods, the wind, and all of that. And I'm going to ask the oracle, can the elves explain all of that? It's an 8, it's a no, but okay, so I'm going to say they cannot explain it, but they can, like assume, or they can they can kind of, they don't know but they know, so something like that. They don't know exactly what happened, but they are assuming that the powers of that book, which was carried around by that folk hero like millennia ago, has some of the magic that they used and their tribe used, and something about being opened and used by a foreign, those people from the camp, maybe have released the, like a creature, which I'm going to say is a wild creature. At this point, I think we can say that it's a wild creature that we don't know yet what it is. It's just a wild creature. And Galvin is going to ask for help. Can they help Galvin? Oh, yes. Thank God. I didn't know what I would do if that was a no. 18 is a yes. So I'm going to say that they can help by using their tribes, the druid tribe magic, on calming the creature and acquainting the creature to the forest so that it wouldn't attack the camp anymore. It was more like called in because the diary was stolen. It was like a protective spell or something like that. That's what I'm thinking they are going to explain. So do they solve it? Do they like find the creature and solve it? 17 is a yes. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this adventure here, because it's been like more than an hour for this video already. And I'm going to say that these druids with Galvin, they go into like the forest, and with the druid powers and the abilities with animals and all of these natural creatures, they calm down that creature, which I'm going to say is just a huge bear. Or if you're going into the D&D realm a little bit, we can say it's an owlbear, which is going to sound a lot cooler, right, for the story. So they manage to calm down the creature. They take them, the creature with them to like the tribe as a another creature that can live among them, because they live among all the creatures in the forest and they respect everybody. Galvin returns the book, of course, obviously. And then Galvin goes back to his hiring people, and I'm going to ask the Oracle now. Actually, I want to ask the Oracle this, if he Galvin gives the full explanation of what happened, or if he like dumbs down. You know how sometimes if you try to explain something to someone and it might be a little more complex or outside of their beliefs, they are not going to accept or going to get really confused. So Galvin kind of gives an explanation like, oh, it was just a wild creature that smelled you guys and came in, and it's taken care of. It's not there yet. It's not there anymore. Some tribes have taken them or whatever. Give the simple explanation. Or if he's going to give like the full, you disrespected the people because one of you took that book and it like liberated some type of curse or something, and but now it's dealt with and I returned the book to their rightful owners. Like, does he give the full story? Yes, he gives. So it's a 17. So I'm going to say that he explains everything and how he solved it, and it's done. That was fun, actually. I'm going to be honest with you. When I was preparing, as I said, I read it, but some of the details I just let it go, because when I'm creating the characters, I'm going to go and find out what I need to find out about any class or any race I need. So I mostly focused on the rules and like to see what tools I had in here. And when I saw that I don't have anything to help me decide like what creatures or encounters happen and how combat goes on and all of that, I was a little bit like, oh, that's going to be a problem. So if I come into combat, what do I do? But fortunately we didn't have to do that. That was actually very good of a story. We had some exploration, we had some divine interventions and visions. We didn't have combat, but I liked it very much. If we would have to have combat, my idea was to remember how for Galvin we rolled 2d6s and got the HP for Galvin. I would roll for the creature either the same 2d6s, but I was thinking 3d6s to make it more challenging for Galvin. So I would get, for example, in this case, I got a 9, which would be okay. Galvin has 10 HP and the creature would have 9. So it would be a little bit easier for Galvin, but maybe not depending on the roles in the fighting in combat. So that would have worked. So that's what I was thinking about doing. I didn't have to, fortunately, but that was really good. What did you guys think? And what were your ideas every time I rolled something here? I really wanna know what you guys thought of those, and leave them down below. And if you have more games to suggest me, I have like a bunch in here to show you, and a lot that I haven't even tested yet, and they are coming. But if you have another one that you want to see, you can tell me. If I already have it, I'm going to make a video. If I don't, I'm going to check it out and see if I can make a video of that. That was it for today. Remember to leave the like down below, and I see you in the next video. Bye.